Hello everybody and welcome to the Christie Lake Ice Bowl Round 1 Front 9 coverage brought to you by Dynamic Discs, Christie Lakes Conservation Area, Starbucks Platform Discs, and a couple more as well there.
The Keg. I'm Justin Murphy.
I am Julian Murphy.
Yeah, we're brothers.
You're quite heavy.
Yeah, your back was sore there. We are here, Julian, with some... Well, I mean, this is disc golf in Canada. If you want to continue playing all year, sometimes your rounds are going to look like this, and I think that might be why some of the ratings might be a little lower in Canada. It's, we don't get great weather for 12 months a year like some of the lower states and other countries, so...
We're really about 6 months of decent play weather and then 6 months of horrible. And here we are, starting the card, Cam Zanini. Look at that.
Yeah, it was raining. He's wiping the rain off his bill. You guys know this man, no introduction. Speaking of introductions, this is Chris Brown. I know what you're thinking. It's not the same Chris Brown. Julian.
Oh, what a wink.
Hey.
Rated 948. He's from Burlington, Ontario, and this is his first round on our coverage.
It's a good wink.
Chris Ozolins, Captain Canuck from past videos. You've seen him with Tim Hortons Cups. This one, he is representing Team Bronte.
And that is quite a scarf, and I think he can pull that off, Julian.
And lastly, rounding out our card, James Duong with the spinning skills.
Jimmy D with his James Conrad Aviar, it looks like. That guy puts that in the basket at will, Julian.
He's all about those James discs.
I noticed that all of our players here are sponsored by Independent. Now, I can't tell... Maybe that's the old skateboarding company. I think Zanini. I talked to Zanini. He played skateboard. He skateboarded when he was younger. So these guys are apparently all sponsored by them. I'm not sure the disc golf reference, but here we go.
Round 1, front 9. What do we have?
This is a must-get par 4. It's 355 feet. Basically, throw something straight about 310 feet to avoid these trees or the schnarb on the left here. Give yourself an open look to that basket with a little bit of a low ceiling, but other than that, it's a 100-foot upshot, step putt, whatever, and you got to take your birdie on this one. So let's see if these guys can get us started in Canadian style here, Julian.
Cam Zanini with a big hyzer flip rip. That's going pretty straight. It's going to be likely a little bit too far to the right, but he'll have an easy upshot.
And good distance. It's not really specific landing zone, but you got to start finishing towards that gap.
Chris Brown. That's a great rip, too.
Yeah, he can snap a disc, my goodness.
Let's see if he can get...
So that would be the ideal spot, Julian, I think.
Yeah, and I think the trouble with the round today is there's very, very little ground play. So you can't rely on the skip. It could hit the snow and just stop typically.
Yeah, it was very... Julian and I both played in this tournament. It was very, very slushy, and these first few holes, it was raining.
Oh, yeah.
It was not great conditions to play disc golf, but that's why we all love the sport.
And great shot by Oz there, and James Duong... Turn that over.
Good distance, but that's going to be... Yeah, that's inside that stuff over there, whatever it is.
The stuff.
Speaking of stuff, we're in the studio recording this, Julian.
Yes, we are. Our first trip back to the studio in Brantford. We are hanging out with all of the guys here, and it's looking good.
It's looking very good. This is exciting, and we're going to probably have a Schnarb episode coming up about it, But right now, we're back to business with James in jail here, Julian.
Yeah, that's a tough spot to be throwing a forehand from.
Great umbrella, though.
And yeah, he managed to get it out.
Yeah, easy for you to say. He has probably a 60-footer to try and obtain that bird. And if we know James, Jimmy D, as we will.
He does have a chance. And Cam Zanini, he's got easy forehand and with his buttery smooth.
I can see his breath. He's breathing, guys.
Oh, he goes opts for the high line. Captain Highliner. Ah, nice.
Fish sticks. Sponsored by Captain Highliner Fish Sticks, if they still exist. And he'll have himself maybe a circle's edge putt. And Oz hoping to do the same thing with a forehand. That's a bit long, Julian.
Yeah, that was a monster drive, and it kind of put him out of position to look at the basket, but he's going to have a tough putt from some of that brushy area off to the side of the basket.
Yes, and we finally get to Rihanna's drive. Or
Chris Brown's drive.
Chris Brown. And... Going to take the straight gap? Yes, he does. Right up the gap. First round on camera. Splits the difference. That's pretty good, Julian. 18-footer for bird.
Yeah, he has monster distance. Unreal.
Nice earmuffs on James here. Step putt.
Oh, good run.
Yeah, very good run. And he'll have his par. Maybe an unfortunate start, but let's everyone getting the jitters out of the way. Getting used to playing in these conditions. Like Cam's footwork are probably a little bit messed up here. Oh, just short. A little bit uphill, a little bit slushy. Everyone's got to kind of get used to these conditions here in Canada. Christie Lake specifically. And Chris Ozolins from trying to pick a gap here. What's he going to do, Julian?
He's got, just lasers it straight at the basket.
That basket, I don't know, that bottom basket there seemed a little wobbly. It's been hit a lot, it looks like. Definitely by Cam and Chris, 2 in a row here. And let's see if other Chris here.
They're all Chris's.
Yeah, Chris. Yes.
We are at Christie Lake, and so we have all Chris's on our card now.
And that's the only reason these guys are playing this tournament, as we got a birdie putt from Chris,
Brown.
of course, Brown.
Nice putt.
Tap.
Good bird.
Don't tap that basket too hard at the front. It might fall apart. Jimmy D.
Chris Duong.
It's safe to assume, like you have a 50-50 chance of being right with the name, Julian. Yeah, and Chris Zanini taps in his birdie, putt, par, is what I said. And we're off to the races here, Jules.
Here we go. What do we have from our card there?
I think we got a birdie and 3 pars, if my memory serves me correctly, which it usually does. The lone bird by Chris Brown. Good start for him. First round on camera. Make a bit of a knee knocker putt. And the other guys picked up their par, so no harm, no foul. And we're on to the woods, Julian.
Here we go. Christie Lake is a very wooded course for probably about half the holes at least.
Yeah.
And we're getting right into it here. So 255 feet, par 3. It's a straight tunnel shot. You want to avoid the trees on the left there. They're a little bit thicker. You want to kind of just float something as straight as you can down towards the basket and
putter's
have
a
it
good
land
play.
softly.
255 as a putter's a good play, or maybe a flip up mid range if that's your game. And Chris Brown's going to lead us off here. Footwork was a little bit tricky today. These pads were actually pretty good in the weather, though, Julian. What did you think when you were throwing off them?
Yeah, not too bad at all, considering the freezing rain, the rain, and the snow.
Oh, good standstill almost. That was very slow walk up, deliberate because of the rain, and he's a circle 1 putt for 2 birdies now in a row. Maybe
Might
circles
be just outside the circle, yeah.
A guy on my card on this hole hit the tree right beside the garbage can there on the left, just behind the short tee.
Oh, who's on your card that threw that?
It was Justin Murphy. It was also his first hole of the tournament. And he felt like that's going to be one of those days. As Cam kind of fades out a bit early, I think he got lucky to get that distance there. It looks like a missed release.
Yeah, if you can get down past some of those trees, though, you're not really in a bad spot.
Oz throwing, look like a mid maybe, turning a bit. That's going to slide.
Yeah.
Circle 2.
Decent shot.
Yeah, if you get most of the way down there, should be fine. And last but not least, Chris Duong, or as we like to call him, James, which is his birth name.
Yeah, his parents actually gave us that suggestion just now. They texted me.
That's what I did, James.
Oh, just like that.
And he laughs. You know what? He just says that's going to be slippery hands all day. We're going to be fighting out of the woods, but he's got a forehand, Julian, which is what you need to scramble on this course.
And tough position.
What's
You
he
can
got
see all
for
that
us?
branches in front of him.
Okay.
Oh.
Sit.
He's
Yeah, a little bit stable at the end. Not a bad shot. He's going to probably have some sort of a,
look, maybe
Hopefully.
45-footer probably.
if I know James, which I sort of do, we just kind of met each other, he will give that a run. And I should have watched Cam Zanini's in the bag closer so I could say, oh, that's his the disc. Could be an AVR X3. Did you watch it?
Yeah, I think that's an AVR 3.
AVR 3? Okay, maybe. I forget if he had that in his bag or not. We're in the studio, so maybe we can go and ask the guys after they recorded this round.
All right, Chris Ozolins. Just getting ready.
Come on now.
Ooh, decent bid. Hits
Good
the
bid,
basket.
yep. I mean, obviously you want that to go in, but not bad from there. Very patriotic baskets on this course, Julian. And as you can see, wind was not a factor today.
Oh,
Is that James? Yeah, that was.
Yeah, that was James from inside the trees off to the side.
And we're going to get to Chris Brown again. Let's see if he can pick up 2 strokes. Twice in 2 straight holes, Julian.
Oh, yeah. And it's worth noting his rating is actually 40 or so less than the
Everyone
next
on the card,
closest,
yeah.
than everybody else on the card. And
Shows you it means nothing. Yeah, it doesn't mean a lot, actually. But not right now.
no, if you can put together a good round, you can win tournaments. And I know we're early right now.
That's going to fade out a bit early. Not
I
bad.
jinxed him. I shouldn't have said anything. I'm sorry, Chris. James Duong putting his...
And one of the smoothest MPO putts I watch. In my first few tournaments of MPO, James puts that in. He's got a beautiful putt. And speaking of beautiful putts, Cam's got one.
Puts the P2 into hole 2, his basket 2.
Yep. And as you can see, 3 is the other way over there. So let's follow that arrow to hole 3. Oh, we actually have some players to finish off still, so I'll stop rushing the gun here. Rushing the gun?
Sure, let's do it.
I think it's jumping the gun, as Chris Brown puts it in. I don't understand.
Jumping the shark while rushing the gun.
Oh, God. I'm botching everything today.
Uh,
Must be the nerves in this studio. I don't know.
Oz taps it out, and that is it for hole 2 for these guys.
Yeah, I think James with the unfortunate bogey. And then 3 pars. That kind of happens on holes that are that technical off the tee, especially with slippery footing, in the rain, on camera, blah, blah, blah. But I'm
Whatever
sure...
excuses you want to give these guys.
Yeah, I'm just trying to help out and be their best friend forever. But for now, James will see how he can rebound.
Yep.
And the next hole will be good for James's game, I believe.
Yeah, hole 3 is going to be a less tight tunnel shot than the last one, 225 feet. You want a short forehand or a smooth turnover backhand. There's several guardian trees just in the way of the basket that you can see here. As long as you get close to them or even just slightly through them, you're looking well. There is a drop-off right past the basket, though, which can be dangerous. So you want to kind of land it before the basket.
And I think a good play also, Julian, is a overstable Anheuser release right here. That's a hyzer flip, but an overstable Anheuser release and kind of flex it. And that's a great shot.
Yeah, look at that.
Chris, look at that rain pouring down on the camera here, too.
The weather was not forgiving today. I know I've said that before, and I will likely say it 3 more times. Start counting.
Good. Start counting. Rain counter. Good kick. And Cam's got a circle's edge putt for birdie. MD3. Ah, God, I should have studied this bag more. That's my bad. That's why we make these videos. And that looks like a Bronte Classic disc.
Oh,
no.
Boy. Hits the early tree, and that's the one mistake you don't want to make on this hole because the footing is kind of nasty over there.
And not a lot of angles. This looks like another nice blue James Conrad disc, and that's going to be early. Fortunate kick to the middle, though. So maybe some grip issues, maybe some nerves the first few holes here, and we're going to see if we can work those out. Chris lining up a turnover, maybe an overstable forehand here, flex. Oh, that's nice.
Oh, wow.
He should have about a 22-footer.
Yeah, just out. Yeah, just inside the circle. And where's the basket? There it is.
Yeah, it's 24 feet. James up next with his beautiful earmuffs on. Missed that tree. And that'll be a tuster for par again.
Yeah, this will be... Is this James' first card on camera?
Absolutely not. I don't want to spoil anything, but he's been on camera a lot. We just haven't released them yet, so look forward to that.
I can't wait to see it. This is my first round watching James Duong play, so I'm very excited for that.
Yeah, you should be. He's got an unbelievable forehand. Hope we get to see it at some point.
Oh,
Cam
what a putt.
Zanini
Well
connects
done.
with the best of them. Good shot.
And that's hanging in the chain, so you got to take that out. There you go.
Wink.
Oh, a little wink at the camera.
Oh,
What
that
a
made my
charmer.
heart flutter, Cam.
What a
Nice shot.
charmer.
Dang. I mean, I guess confidence is going to win you things. And
Tough putt
tree
for
stump
James.
with a blanket on it. Or is it just black and wet? I can't tell. And there's the Frisbee in relation to the basket. Now, Chris, that's a tough par putt. 28 feet, maybe? Or did I say 24? I forget.
I think we changed it to 24, but
It
if
looks
you...
like 28. Nope.
Oh, shoot. Just rang it off the basket.
Yeah. And if you have any kind of a back leg push on your putt today, was very, very tough to have that a confident push with that slush behind your boot. But not if you're Chris Brown. And smiling, thumbs up. Loves birdie. Everyone loves birdies. And there's Jeff and Lisa. Cute couple they are. True North Disc Golf themselves.
You can see them slipping around. You can kind of see their footing.
Yeah, and Jeff is smiling, holding the umbrella for his lovely fiance, I believe. What a cute couple. Oh, and they're going to slide down that hill. And actually, not even joking, that is a dangerous hill to walk down on the ice.
Yeah, it was horrible. So after hole 3, that was a very well-played hole for 2 of our pros, and a little bit of a tough go for the other 2. So we had 2 birdies and 2 bogeys. That's about what happens on this hole, though. You hit an early tree, and there's no forgiveness in this course
And this is the hardest hole in the course.
by a long shot.
There's no doubt about it. If not the next one too. But these next two holes, 4 and 5, are the part of the course that you just do not want to play ever. It's a very, very tight gap off the tee. Usually a big forehand will get you kind of up to this area. It's called Gap Trap, the hole, obviously there. It's a good name for it. It's kind of the par 4. Is it a par 4 from the longs?
It's a par 4 from
Yes,
shorts and longs.
okay.
All the signs say par 3 at the
Look
park,
here, though. Look how tight this gap is. Compromised footing, and a backhand is such a tough shot here. This looks
wow.
good.
Come on.
Oh.
And then he looks good at it.
Yeah.
Now there is no OB. It's worth noting there is no OB
Yes.
on in the
Any
ice bowl
holes.
days on any holes. So typically, if you get over those logs, I think to the left, they sometimes play that as OB.
Cam goes backhand too. This is great. I mean, that's
an
ideal.
amazing shot.
That's a very good shot if you can get up to there. It's just such a tight gap, so I guess throw whatever you can keep in the middle. And this is more the play that I threw and some other players will throw.
Oh wow!
Come on.
Oh come on!
Where is it?
Holy cow! What
Julian,
a shot!
He is going to have an eagle look.
That's unreal.
That's a very good shot. And I wanted to talk about James's forehand, so hopefully we're trying to take the wide line. Now, he can smash a forehand, FYI.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's hard in a forest like this, but his forehand is beautiful. And,
we get to see an overhand now.
yep, he's shaping the shot in his head. A lot of writing on the back of that disc, Julian.
It's there's 38 letters in his middle name.
Oh, okay.
Or it was likely signed for an ace, I would imagine.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Is that an ace disc, James? Let us know.
It probably is. And
Comment.
James is just really slow getting off the start here. Having a slow start is what I meant to say. And by meant, I meant. We're warming up here too. As Chris gets down to a spot where he'll have a circle's edge,
Yep.
maybe low ceiling putt for his birdie. And James has got to get down there to try and scramble for his par.
That's such a smooth forehand.
Yes, it is. Oh, and that's going to be a par. I
Great
hope.
shot.
Very good shot. Now, the distance on this hole fortunately makes it a bit of a softer par 4. But it's that tunnel shot off the tee. And Cam was in a prime position. And he does have a birdie putt.
Yep.
And I want to see, Julian, where Chris ended up for eagle.
We're
Not
still
this
not
Chris.
even
Sorry.
at-
Not this Chris.
We're still not even at Chris Ozolins' drive. So
my
he's got to
gosh.
be well inside the circle then.
He has to be. This is probably, what, 42? Yep.
Not even.
Oh!
What a pot.
Chris Brown.
Woo.
Let's go. Dang.
All right. Where's your disc,
He's
guys?
like, what
that's a tough spot.
Oh, that's really unfortunate considering where this disc got to, so he'll have a tough little pit. Oh,
Holy
an eagle.
cow.
What a putt. And he's running it in, slushing it in.
He
Oh,
is
man.
simply sliding his way to the
Dang,
basket.
what an eagle. Let's get this replay. Focus, Annie. This reminds me of Clay Morgan's putt on hole 1 at Chicopee in the provincial championships.
Oh, wow.
Let's go. Oh, and a fist pump. Chris
Unreal.
knows.
So that was for the eagle. Well done.
And speaking of well done, James shaking his disc off. That's a very good par to get after being in trouble twice.
Yeah, and that's what can happen if you hit one tree on this. It's the difference between an eagle and a par or a bogey, or
Agreed.
a double bogey if you end up across the road.
Is that what happened to you, Julian?
No.
No.
What?
Yeah. And a great birdie for Cam there. So I think was it a rainbow card? No, but it was a very well played hole. James with the great scramble on a par. A great eagle by Chris. Even the putt was remarkable. And then
Yeah.
two good birdies from those other two gentlemen, Cam and Chris. And a well played hole considering I think that's the hardest hole in the course.
Yes, I would agree with that.
Okay.
The numbers don't say that, but
Right. Anyway, those numbers don't. But this is our lead card. So, and the second hardest hole in the course is this one. It's a very tight tunnel shot uphill, par 4, not super long, but 400 feet. Plays more like probably 460, and it's two specific landing zones. You can't go too long off the tee. It's got to be something straight about 290 to 310 feet. A forehand would be smart to kind of have it fade to the right to give you a straight angle at the basket or a turnover. And you can see there, right where the camera crew, that's where you want to start fading right.
and I'm
And
curious.
Chris is going for a
Oh, wow.
big boy throw here.
We lost it. There it is.
And
Yeah, he'll have a
he'll
look.
be okay from there. Yeah, he got enough distance, I think, that he'll have an easy upshot.
I'm curious if anyone's going to try to go up and over the trees and just crash
Chris
it
has a
in.
big arm, so let's see, he might. And that might be a little low and turning. Kick out. Kick
Down?
down.
There it is.
Yeah. Very specific shot, and let's see if Cam can warm his hand up here, wipe it on his bum, and then throw it really well. That's going to start stabling out too early.
Yeah,
Hit
that's
something, come
not
on.
too bad, though. If that's inside
something.
those trees, you can still make a shot from there.
And okay, he'll be fine. He might have some sort of a turnover, like an overstable forehand flex line.
Oh, and here we go.
This is the shot I like. Nope, that's very, come on, please be good. Yeah, and James is still struggling a bit here off the tee. I think he's going to put it together. I hope he puts it together.
Oh, I'm sure he will. He has a great mental game, too, from what I've seen in
Yeah, because it
tournaments.
nothing seems to phase him, at least superficially, because he's always smiling. And why not? We're playing disc sports, which are awesome. And Chris with a good shot, so he'll have a circle 2 look.
Yeah, the green's a little bit tricky here, too.
It's on a hill, a bit of a hill. There's that mound there that stops a lot of disc, and then behind the basket there kind of peters out to down the hill. And James very wisely says, I'm going to try and collect an easy par here, sorry. Lining up a putter of sorts.
Oh,
Come on,
no.
get up. Yeah, and he's not going to be happy with that. And struggling a bit here. James is the reigning champion of this event from last year.
Oh, wow.
Or as I like to call it in disc golf, the chaining rampion. Disc golf chain reference. And Cam pitches out to the fairway.
He still gets some forward progress, though, so he'll have an easy par, I would imagine.
And Chris here. Sorry, guys.
Inside joke in the studio.
Yeah, inside joke in the studio. Chris pitches over, and he's going to have a circle 1 birdie putt.
Yeah, he's got that mound in his way, but he should be able to make that putt, especially after winning the last hole.
Yeah. Losing a bit of focus here, Julian. My apologies. And Cam pitches over towards the camera crew, and that'll be an par.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that'll be for par.
He had to pitch out. Takes his medicine, which that'll happen on this hole. Now, James is a great circle 2 putter. Come on.
Whoa.
Good line. And he'll have a par.
All right, and what's Chris going to do here?
I don't know what's...
Oh, I was right. I was guessing 50% of the time.
Yes.
I got the name right.
Oh, right. Sorry, I was like, what's he talking about? And that's going to fade out a bit early. Good run, though. Good weight on it, Julian. Chris Brown 3 for 3. 3 down. Just noticing that right now, and he's off to the races.
Yeah, he's
Going to get a par here, but
Now we're on hole 5, so
I'm not good at math. That's a bird. And that eagle might have sparked
sparked something. Sparked the
something.
fire.
It might have ignited something for Chris Ozolins, is what I'm trying to say. Chris with his comebacker for par after a good bid at the basket for bird. There's a lot of bees there.
Bid at the basket for bird. I like the alliteration.
And he looks up and says, that's a right side. It's pro side, Chris. You're at MPO. It's a
Oh.
good putt. It's in. And Cam slipping in the background. Where did that disc come from, Julian? Was that in his pocket? It just kind of came out of nowhere for James there.
Mhm.
Oh.
Yeah, he's
Okay.
very large pockets on his pants. It's
Now, you guys might notice a few discs not being marked for putts. It's a kind of a casual tournament. It was for charity, and it's not PDGA sanctioned.
yes. So,
So
it,
we
it
kind of
is-
have, it's kind of more of a fun tournament. You obviously stick within the rules, but yeah. So you might notice that, and don't make hilarious comments that make us upset.
Yeah, and that's why there's no OBs as well in this one.
Correct.
Typically, there is some OB in this course.
Yeah.
It was a fun round and a fun tournament, and really, if you're playing in the weather that we had that weekend,
Exactly. Exactly.
it wasn't fun. The weather.
So yeah, agreed.
You have to love
It was
the
still
sport.
fun. It was still a great tournament.
You have to love the sport,
love it. Yeah.
and the tournament was very well run and well put on. So
And it was for a great cause. And this is out of the forest, and now you get to step up and crush a disc. 512. Par 4 is very soft. I mean, there's a bit of a hill behind the basket, but grab something that you're going to throw very far, and it doesn't matter today because there's no OB. And we got a Ricky Destroyer in Chris's hands, and he can throw, and that's a little high.
yeah, that's going to fade hard to the left. So he's going to have tough position for his next shot. It's still wide open, though.
It's very wide open. It's just more about a touch shot. And I know Chris Brown can smash, so let's see what he does
Saying,
with that.
I'm going to ace this.
That cool disc in his hand.
From the Flats Classic.
Flaccid. Classic. Flassic.
Flats?
And this looks like a good shot.
It's right in the star. Right at the tip of the star, it looks like. So there's a star cut into the grass in the middle of the field.
I don't want to say it, but mine was still farther than that. That's the one positive I had today was that my throw was farther than that. And probably not farther than this.
That's got to come back, though.
That's fine. Yeah, and he'll have probably from there you might throw a forehand towards the basket. That's something that'll sit nicely.
Yeah, the basket is on a treacherous location on a hill that is very tough for...
Yep. And James putting it right in the middle. Good shot. So 3 tough up shots. Now this is where the hole gets hard. The up shot's a little bit trickier. Off the tee, you're just trying to throw anything forward, to be honest. And Chris looks like he's going to line up a big hyzer, maybe to spike it near the basket.
And that's a great idea. You want to spike it 10 feet before the basket if possible.
And I believe the basket, can we see it from here? Is that flag hanging there? On the left? I think it is. There's like a white flag down there that James is heading right toward. That's it. That's the basket. And this is great. Wow.
Oh, wow. That sits down right under it, we hope. Hopefully it didn't slide down the hill.
That's a wonderful shot.
And despite the bend of the flagpole, there is very little wind this round.
It's bent from previous wind, Julian. Or maybe a long putt hit it and broke it. Who knows?
Oh, could have.
And like I said, Cam's going to have a touchy forehand here. Might be hard to get it to sit before the basket unless you leave it out wide like that, which he did. Oh, my goodness gracious.
Cam Zanini doesn't have to listen to your forehand tips.
Perfect up shots. No, he does not. In fact, don't listen to my forehand tips because they're not good.
Wow.
Chris got a little pinched. Hopefully he has a bit of a... Oh, it's a forehand putt, Julian. I was going to say, if we've seen Chris already today put in some remarkable putts, so he gave that a good run. Just hit the basket, unfortunately. Chris looking at a birdie downhill here from about 10 feet. All day, bud.
In for sure.
For sure, bud.
For sure.
Cam with the umbrella, looking good.
Bag
Smart
on,
idea.
umbrella in hand.
That was a really, really good upshot.
It's like, I don't need to mark this.
He's like, do you want to putt with my green disc? And James says, no, I'll putt with this driver instead. And he does. And Cam, being the gentleman and scholar he is, picks up James's disc and walks it to the next tee pad for him, Julian.
I love the baby steps. It really shows how
It really
slippery
is true.
it was there.
Good call. And it was. Anything time you're on a hill, you just don't trust anything. And unfortunate par, I guess, from Chris because the other guys all birdied it with wonderful upshots. Even Chris's was in a pretty decent spot. He just had that unfortunate bush in his way. Or bush light.
And hole 7, 329 feet. I feel like this is one of the easier holes in the course.
It is from shorts. From longs, it's out of a forest, and it's a big forehand or an overstable backhand.
Thank you for the correction, because
You're
I
welcome.
was talking about
I
from
know you were.
shorts, for
That's
sure.
fine. Yeah, so I throw a big forehand here that flexes. I think it's the play. Or you can maybe flip up a mid-range that has a right-hand turn, and you're elevated, and you got a couple of trees in the way. You can see it.
Oh,
here.
yeah.
It's a much different shot than
I'm
shorts.
a filthy liar.
So just left of those 2 pines down there, or whatever they are, cedars, and then have it start fading towards the right. Kind of like exactly like this.
Chris Brown going the backhand route.
This is looking good. Okay, so
Circle 2 putt.
Yep, 38 feet for bird for Chris to continue this hot streak he's been started off with. And this is another play here, the big forehand.
And we are on a card
That's
of
going to miss that.
forehanders.
Oh, God. It might finish a bit right here. Good kick.
Yeah, he's still, that's a long run. He has easy upshot.
Yeah, easy upshot. He'll maybe have a big jump putt at it, but he should collect his par, hopefully.
All right, let's see what James does.
Well, obviously we know what James does here. We've talked up this forehand. Let's see here. Smash.
And he chose a fog-colored disc.
I think it was Cloudbreaker. I know he likes to throw those, and that's smashed down there. And he'll have a circle's edge putt with a bit of schnarb at his foot. Both feet,
His foot.
actually.
And the other foot will be perfectly in the clear.
Yeah. And speaking of big forehands,
I'd say his forehand is about the same size.
I knew I'm like, he's going to get me right back with that. And this looks good because it's low. Maybe it's stable? Yeah, okay. So no one really parking it. but we got 4 open shots to the basket. And Cam, unfortunately, can't do a big step putt. He's going to just throw it in.
Oh. Nice upshot.
Good run with that
AVR
red
3.
But it didn't fly like one there. It didn't even fade.
I think the three flies like that.
Uh-oh. Okay, good. It's so hard to have depth perception watching these rounds.
Let's see if anybody can get the bird.
I'm calling this goes in. Can I do that?
Sure.
Okay. It goes in.
I'm calling. Ooh.
The slush. I wasn't done.
Oh, sorry.
It goes in the slush.
And our last chance, I think, at a birdie here.
Yeah. He's lining up a jump putt. That might be hard with that slush. Hopefully he can get some grip with those Asics on his feet there. That's low. Yeah, it's so hard to put all your legs into a putt when you know your back feeder might slip out from underneath you and you might face plant into a pile of half frozen ice.
I like this hole is exactly 100 meters. I appreciate that.
Yeah, we did that. Canadians obviously liked whole numbers because we're not good with them. So we don't use fractions, stuff like that, because we use the metric system because we're all idiots with numbers.
Huh. I would argue it's the opposite.
Oh, man, maybe we're smart for developing such an easy concept. That's a good call. True North, guys.
Sorry to alienate our American viewers by mentioning meters.
Well, Europeans would appreciate that.
That's true. After hole 7, Star Par Binks. Well done by all these guys. It's a tough line to get it to the basket there, and these guys all did fairly well. A few of them had putts, but alas, none of them went in.
All of them had putts.
I think Cam's was more of a throw.
At some point in the hole, they all had putts.
That's true.
Okay, speaking of really hard shots, this hole is such a right turn that it can only really be a forehand to get you close to the basket. I always say that, then the pros throw something different and park it, but it's such a right hook with an obstruction on the right that you need to almost throw a forehand or some sort of understable backhand, but it's gonna, I don't know, it's very hard, and there's a ceiling. So you want to throw it at that big tree in front of Chris Brown there. See how he's lining up that Annie and have it way down to the right. So hopefully he can emulate what I'm talking about. And that's going to be way wide, like way wide. And hopefully he has some sort of open shot to the basket. It's about 100 feet to the right of that.
Oh, wow.
So you want to throw something hard at that big tree and have it start going down the hill. And that's got to be more understable.
Well, that's decent.
It's too straight though.
Okay.
It's a super sharp turn. I cannot believe all backhands. Shout out to... Okay, this looks better. But the thing is that there's not a lot of room on that side.
Oh, yeah. I see what you mean.
To keep... on the right side. It's really got to be directly at that big tree. Shout out to Marco Gurkic. Gurcic? He told me how to say it on my card. We were the chase card because there was no other players. And he birdied it from very, very close. And this is ridiculous.
Wow, what a shot.
So that's what I was saying off the tee. It's an overstable forehand. And I was just about to shout out Marco, the only birdie on the course.
Shout out, he meant everyone.
Yeah, so Marco and Chris Ozolins, shout out to those two guys.
For the only birdies in MPO potentially? Unless we get a throw in
unless we
here.
get a cool throw in, so that's not going to be one. James and Cam, though. Yep. Not as obstructed as Chris Brown was there. Not the Chris Brown you're thinking of.
Lil Dicky?
Will that ever get old? Oh, and we've got the hat off, and we're going to see some sweet hair from Chris Brown here, and he's got a lot of it, folks. And I say that because I'm a bald man.
So yeah, he's a barber's best friend?
I don't know.
Worst nightmare?
I don't know.
It can go both ways.
And he's got a 11-footer for par. For bogey. Sorry, he hit that tree. My bad. And this is James Duong range, Julian. That little low.
Ooh.
Yeah, you can see him kind of kicking his feet. To have that jump putt really work, you got to commit to being able to push with your legs. So that was more arm than anything. And Cam lining something up here. Hopefully he's got a line to the basket. Taking his time, maintaining focus. So he's running something here, Julian.
Get in. Oh,
nice run.
Yeah, well done. Nice run. Almost there.
Yeah.
Game of inches.
I was going to say, totally. And great birdie from Chris and Marco. Polo. I did that all day.
Gurgic. Oh.
So Chris...
Fish out of snow.
Chris Brown for his bogey. Tough one after having a hot start, but he'll live to see another hole. And James taps his par in, and Cam will do the same. Marco Gercic as well threw a lot of white discs, and we were chirping him for it because it's snow on the ground, folks, and we didn't have to look at it as much as you'd think, look for it as much as you'd think, but there was a few times it was like under our feet, and we're like, oh, it's right here. I kicked it.
So hole 8, we had a 1 birdie, well-placed drive by Chris Ozolins there. 2 pars, which is, I would imagine, a fairly common score on this hole, from Cam and James, and Chris Brown with the unfortunate bogey after letting his drive leak left there.
Only 7 players in the field today. Tough conditions, and I know on our card it was birdie, par. And I wasn't the birdie. Hole 9, much easier from shorts again, as Julian would usually talk about. This is from the forest. It's 415-foot par 3. You got to rip it. There's a hyzer gap to the right of the bush on the right, and then there's an up the gut gap that's got to be pumped and staying straight because it's got to be a hyzer flip turn and then start fading back at the end. And this basket's on a major downhill. And Chris going forehand. This is cool. I thought backhand was the play all day, but let's see what he's got here. This is really good.
Oh, wow.
Really, really good.
You know what? I think I actually saw this shot. I was on...
One?
I think I was on hole 1 when that shot came in, and I was like, who the heck threw that from there?
It was a really good shot. So the other play I was saying was a hyzer flip. That's a little high. Zer flip. And great shot, though. See, it's really hard to get all the way down there to get yourself a birdie putt. And then running it from there, like I said, it's downhill. If you airball the putt from there, you're 35 feet back for par.
Yeah, and look at the tee pads. Like that, they had a good team of volunteers come out and clean them off.
Yes,
and
they did. Shout
salt
out to the
them,
volunteers.
So the tee pad is nice and clear, but it's still hard to trust it 100%. When you're putting everything into a drive.
Totally agree. And the afternoon, fortunately for these guys, we're going to get the shorts, so it's a lot less body into the throws. As Chris puts almost nothing into his throws and smashes it. Oh, goodness.
Right into that tree.
Yeah, hat off, whips his lettuce to the side and says, I got to throw again right now, don't I? This is a tough spot. I haven't been down there, but I imagine it does not look fun, Julian.
Oh, he had to do, like over his back, it looked like, patent pending.
And that Frisbee ended up somewhere on the disc golf course, I think. Oh, right here, actually. So that's a great shot. He went right to the middle. And Chris with a touchy shot with that hill there. Oh, he does not like it out of his hand.
What's not to
That's
like?
fine.
That's not too bad at all.
23 feet. Maybe he was just trying to really get it close to save that bogey.
Or maybe he's a big fan of twirling around after his upshots.
Right. There was that much torque on that shot that it forced him to spin around in the slush. That's a good call, Julian. And that's why we're a team here at True North Disc Golf. As Cam slides on up to the basket perfectly.
Oh, wow.
Showing great touch with that Ravy R3.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, God, I wish I knew what that was. I wish he had an in the bag to watch.
If only you could subscribe and get notifications of some sort that would see it. Regardless, we're here with Chris Ozolins, his next shot.
Do you think he runs this? Looks like he is.
He wants to.
High floaty run, which is smart.
Ooh.
Yep. So even a floaty run like that gets you a 20-foot par comeback or so.
Man, look at the wind on this flag as well.
What wind?
You can see the flag. It's just bent out of shape.
Oh, I see. Sorry.
100-kilometer left to right crosswind.
Uh-oh.
Oh, and that's
goodness.
Likely why the flag is bent right there.
Yep, good call. And James knew right out of his hand that was a little high. And Chris has a tough par putt. Bogey putt. Yeah, and he's going to have to take an unfortunate double. Getting off the tee here is super important on this hole.
Yeah, it's tough
He's
to
smiling.
see the downhill.
Can't tell if that was a crazy psychotic smile or just like I'm having fun, whatever. There's no ratings in this tournament, who cares? And that's the James Duong putt that I talk about.
Money.
Very smooth. We haven't had a chance to see any yet, and he's looking up and said, where is this rain coming from? It's January. Good par conversion for Oz there. The wizard. Oh, and he tapped in Chris Brown's form. See, there you go, folks. Unsanctioned, a little bit of fun, good for charity.
Raised a lot of money, too, actually, for the water down.
Raised $1,180, I believe.
Bank. Wow.
And something like 275 pounds of food or something.
Holy cow.
And that's what you do.
All
guys.
to a great cause.
All to a great cause.
So, rounding out hole 9, we had 2 pars, a bogey, and the unfortunate double bogey from Chris Brown.
That Chris Oz finished off for him because he's a gentleman.
Yes.
He
so,
did.
do we count that as an extra
It's a
stroke
7.
then?
Yeah,
or?
it's 2 penalty. Yeah, it's a 2-stroke penalty. I don't know the rules.
So, after the round, Cam Zanini and Chris Ozolins are tied, after the front 9. Oh,
We're not done yet. That's right.
I
Oh,
apologize, everyone.
Look at this. I
Bonus
forgot.
coverage.
It's a 20-hole tournament, guys. I forgot about that, and so did Julian.
Gotcha.
All right. As these guys
And they
are
got me
walking
also.
away from the tee pad right now,
God,
they
game.
still have to throw.
So, a new basket for this one.
Yeah. This looks like a veteran?
Dynamic Discs
Is it
Recruit?
Recruit? Okay.
Veteran? I can't remember which one that is.
So here the throw is wide hyzer on the right there down the path and have it fade to the basket, which is towards that pergola down there, or a big forehand on the left side can get you there.
Yeah, you
and
really-
this is going to be good.
You really want to avoid that all pets must be leash sign when you let go, too.
That was an ace run,
Oh.
and we just missed it.
Holy cow.
Yeah, that's a good shot. Very well done.
There's a sign right in front of the tee pad that can be hit sometimes.
Oh, did you hit it? I forgot about that.
Round 2.
And let's hope for a big skip for Cam here. Keep going, keep going, keep going.
Yeah, he's still pretty far from the basket.
Circle edge?
No. He's going to be like 80 feet, I think. Just kidding.
Circle
Divided
edge.
by 2 for his simple 40-foot putt.
And I'm glad we're going to see the forehand here from James because this is the play I tried first round. I got to circle's edge and missed the putt, of course. Let's see if James can.
Oh, wow.
So
That
smooth.
release.
Oh, it's in the schnarb. That's tough because that looked really. So, which means he actually went long on it. It's really hard to go long on that wide gap. And Chris is going to finish off our card here with the unfortunate double before. Bob, as they say, Julian, back of the bus
Oh.
and crossbar
Hits-
down.
Michelle branched.
Yep. That's more like Donald Trunk. That was much thicker. I'm not a huge fan of that young man, but we'll give him a shout out for getting in the way of many things, including
Donald Trunk?
Yeah, Donald Trunk, including discs on a disc golf course.
Oh, my goodness. Great upshot, though. Great recovery.
Yep.
All right, let's
Cam-
see if Cam can make this 40, 80-footer.
I bet you he does. I'm 0 for 1 on those, so maybe he can make my batting average 500 here. Baseball reference. Nope.
Ooh, a
Little
little
low,
low.
yeah. It's like we practiced that on the way over here.
Jinx.
All right, Julian, on hole 9.1, I want to say little low, yup, at the same time, okay? James, I don't know what kind of, like, almost a turbo even. Like, it's probably really high. He's going to float it maybe. Oh,
Yeah, good attempt from where he was.
yeah, and it's too bad. I really like that tee shot out of his hand. It looked ideal. It just got a bit long. And Chris, is this his? Oh, that was his.
This
he
is
hit
for
He hit
par.
Donald Trunk.
Yep.
Woohoo! It went in. Don't worry, Chris. It went in.
Look, he's nice fire going in the background. You can go warm up.
That dog's wearing a sweater. Just shows you it's kind of cold and wet out there. Dogs have natural sweaters, lady. Woman.
I believe that's,
Person.
I think that might be Brad Reimer's wife.
Oh, cool.
I'm not 100% on that, but I think
Speaking of Brad
that might
Reimer,
be the TD's wife.
Speaking of great TDs,
Oh, yeah, he put on a great tournament.
this was super fun to play, and I haven't played in it before, and really had a blast, even though the weather... I mean, it's a tournament in late January in Canada. What can you expect?
Yeah,
All right.
dry off that
Was
disc.
that 4 pars, Julian? Or no? Yes.
Believe there might be one
So,
birdie.
What's the thing you usually say when that happens? Oh, there was a birdie. Oz parked it. Never mind.
One birdie, ruining the star par banks.
That's at least we got to say it still. That's cool.
And then 3 pars to round it out. So for
Now are
real
we done?
this
I think
this
we're done.
time,
That's 10 holes, right?
The front 10 coverage.
Yes.
We've been saying front 9 the whole time.
Yeah.
But how did we do? We got 4 down from Chris Ozolins after 10, 3 down from Cam Zanini, and come on, we're not doing an 11th hole.
Oh wow, what is happening right now?
This is exciting. We're just gonna keep
Let's
going.
just keep
with
going.
this.
Let's go.
All right.
Boom.
9.2. This is 350 feet. Your tee shot goes over a road, and there's a few trees in the way that you ought to miss. But for these guys, it likely won't be too hard of a shot.
No, there's a road you can kind of skip down to, and if you're Justin, you can throw your shot under a pile of picnic tables and then throw off the top of a picnic table. It's really fun.
That's exciting. I like that.
Yeah.
Go with the Justin line, guys.
That's me, FYI. And actually great footing here on the gravel. It was really nice to get up and rip one like that. And missed that treat.
Oh, you know what? He's still circle's edge.
Yeah, but that was tracking.
Mm-hmm. He's just running everything.
You would say that.
Front 11 coverage?
Crazy. Never before done in disc golf. We're just inventing things as we go, guys, here. And that's a gap hit and a great shot from Cam.
Oh, it's probably the imperial to metric conversion. So 9 holes, it actually plays like 11 in Canada.
I think that's exactly what it must be. James looking to get going here still.
Oh,
and this looks nice.
That was a good rip. Oh, baby.
And this looks really nice. And great shot from James, 24 feet for his birdie.
And he didn't want to do the Justin play. He missed the picnic table by about 5 feet.
Yeah, it was slippery up there too.
There's still a chance, though.
Yes. Hopefully not, though. We want to see Chris throw a good shot here. Chris Brown, and not the one you're thinking of.
Ozolins?
This is parked.
Oh, great shot. Huge.
That's a birdie, Julian.
I would hope so. But every time you say
Wait
that...
a second here. Is this the farthest... We could have a star frame here.
No, why did you say anything?
It's already happened. Can I actually... Can I change the outcome of what's happened
Absolutely,
already?
you can.
Uh-oh.
Oh.
I really did, didn't I?
See? They're like, they still wanted to give you a star frame, but not a frame, a par.
I don't think Chris Brown misses that putt or Cam misses this one. Of course, I would have said that about both the other 2 putts earlier, so... Look at those guys talking in his backswing.
Ooh, held on. There you go. Nice bird.
Yep. Good putt. Pro side. Shakes his head and says, I got away with one there, but you know what? You have to throw the disc towards the basket to have it go in. Oh, goodness gracious, that almost went out. James with the par, and Chris Brown as parked. Parked.
For a birdie.
Yep. Practice that too in the car.
Hole 9.2. We're going to say parked.
Let's not talk about the end of the round yet in case it's not happening. Let's just keep going here. We'll just naturally flow with it, Julian, like we usually do. So after 9.2, which is 11 holes, the Canadian conversion, we had 2 birds, Chris and Cam. Chris Oz with a tough low putt for his bird, but ends up picking up the par, and then James with an unfortunate miss for his birdie putt, but got the par anyway. And now we're going to sit here and see what happens next. All right. It's done.
So,
awesome.
End of the front 11. Big shout out to TrueNorthDiscGolf.com. Check out our website. We have a retail store in Brantford now. It's on Woodyat Drive, 51 Woodyat Drive. Woody at Drive is what my GPS said.
Did you really?
Woody at Drive. It's like, come on.
Perfect.
So check out the store. It's huge. You're going to see a video of that shortly, I would imagine. But so anyway, after the first 11 holes, we had Cam Zanini and Chris Ozolins tied for the lead with 4 down each. So
Excellent.
we're going to see if they can hold on to that for the back 9, because we've done 11 so far.
Correct. And we're going to see if James can get going here.
Yep. Yeah, absolutely. So we'll see you guys shortly. Check out our back 9.